Nom, nom, nom. Meow, 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 meow. Let's see here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. Hi. Wait a second. Does it not show these? Oh, that's not good. It doesn't show. So on screen region. Oh, I did screen window. Whoops. Oh, man. Here, 1 second. It's going to go black for a second. I need to do screen region. There we go. Because you guys need to see the content browser. You also see whatever else I'm doing, so sorry. Okay. Just need to make sure, checking to make sure the quality is good. So you guys are watching a stream within a stream right now. Anyway. How's it going, everyone? Ugh. Sorry, my chair's in the way. I just woke up not too... Well, it was probably about an hour and a half ago. So I'm just, you know, watching the chat now. I'm waiting for everything to go good. Make sure everything's set. Is everything going, looking good? Does the stream look good quality? Does my voice sound good? Just trying to figure out if these goods are still from when I... Okay, yep, good. It's amazing. Yeah, it's good. All fine. Looks great. Sweet! We don't have to do any reboots. This is good. Oh, you guys can't see these. That means I was downloading SimCity pictures to make thumbnails. Get out of here. No. Anyway, welcome to Kootra's UDK School. I will be talking like this at all times. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, I'll get started in just a second here. I'm just getting some drinks in my system, I guess you could say. I'm pretty surprised at how many people have showed up so far. We got 550 almost 550 viewers. That's pretty decent, I have to say. Pretty decent. And the more I'm stalling here, probably the more people are seeing my video on my channel and coming over. So they might be late. Oh yeah, see 585. People are jumping up. Anyway, I'll give it till 10:05. Right now we're at 10:02. So I can just sit here and talk to you guys. Someone just called me a pentakill thief. I did not steal that penta, so I stole my double kill. I could add a double kill, and he stole it. Meow, 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 meow. What time? I'm curious, like, where people are hailing from here. Are there a lot of Americans? I did it earlier in the morning, so I knew that a lot of UK people can make it. Probably the best time to do streams is, you know, like in the morning-ish, so that Americans can make it, and then, well, like Americans, Canadians, anyone on this side in this time zone, and then people from Europe and that area have a good chance of making it. Sadly, Australia kind of gets pooped on here, even though some people are still from Australia. I'm seeing Luxembourg, Danish, Denmark, Dutch, Australia. Yep, 3 a.m. I remember someone tweeting at me that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, sorry to everyone in Australia, but this is like the best time for everyone else. So if I did the best time for Australia, it would be the worst time for everyone else. So it's kind of sad. Look at that. Norway, Wisconsin, Scotland, Belgium waffle, Portugal, 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 Canada, Texas, Estonia, South Kakalaki, Portugal, Sweden, New York, Massachusetts, Belgium, Vancouver, Netherlands, England, Afghanistan, Berlin, Ireland, Wisconsin again, Turkey. I'm probably rereading some of these people. Hey, did I see Bevan? I think I did. Did I see you, Bevan? If you're in here, I'm going to be mad. Let's see. Bevan. Let me just mod him up quick. It is almost 1 minute and then we'll get started. Did I see Bevan or was I just imagining things? I did see Bevan. Oh, no, it disappeared. There he is. There you go, Bevan. Op. You got Op. You got the Op. Hungary. Croatia. Soviet Union. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, now there's just a whole bunch of fake places you guys are from. Okay. Here we go. Get ready for this. Get ready. This is actually isn't too laggy with streaming and doing a share region. I'll be checking in on the chat every once in a while because I just got to make sure everything's running smoothly and nothing's going wrong with the stream or anything. So I apologize if I pop this up here and there. But at this time, I sadly only have one monitor working because my graphics card decided to poop out one of the outputs for DVI or VGA, whichever one those are. So I'm only running on one monitor right now, which is sad. But yeah, let's see here. It is 10:05. 10:05. Okay, everyone, welcome to the preview for UDK School. Right now, I'm going to be giving you guys kind of a rundown of what I'm going to be doing. My goal right here, I really wanted to create, I know a lot of people out there ask me how to get into this kind of industry, like YouTube and stuff. And sadly, it's an extremely oversaturated market now. And it's really hard to get a start and do some amazing thing, you know, get really big anymore without creating like amazing content that just goes viral and stuff. So I like to try and, you know, persuade people to switch over to this kind of field, which is, you know, video game design, because a lot of the time you can make some cool stuff and then you can get in with big companies. And once you're in the industry, you're in the industry for pretty much for as long as you want to do it, because you'll get that experience and then pretty much any studio will hire you. My goal with this is I don't know everything about UDK. I do know a lot, but I don't know everything. But I think it would be a good idea for me to give a very cheap alternative to, you know, taking school classes on UDK and stuff, and you know, give you a cheap alternative that will let you design stuff and get a portfolio together that will let you apply. And if you really want to take it further, I would definitely recommend going to some UDK classes. But this will definitely give you, you know, a huge head start, because a lot of the times in the gaming industry, and this isn't always the case, but a good demo reel or portfolio will get you into game companies better than, you know, a fancy degree and stuff, because they're looking for people that can make amazing things and have awesome turnaround times rather than someone that just has a degree and no skills, because that's just the way it is. That's the field. And this also could lead to, you know, people starting their own indie games. I mean, that's like a huge thing. UDK is amazing for that because it allows people to, you know, license the engine, and you can screw around with all you want as a free tool. So yeah. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say, but that's pretty much it. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be trying to impart some knowledge on you, and hopefully that leads to you guys creating awesome things, you know, getting good design portfolios together with map design. The main thing I specialize in with UDK is Matinee, which goes into cinematics and making cutscenes for games. So yeah, as far as Unreal Engine, the Unreal Engine is something that Epic Games created a few years back, and they've been using it. It was mainly for Unreal Tournament, and then they pretty much used it for everything else. I mean, there's so you have no idea. You probably own 5 or 6 games right now that are made with the Unreal Engine. Mass Effect, all the Mass Effects are Unreal Engine. Gears of War, of course, Unreal Engine. And most indie games that you see that aren't built from scratch are made using the Unreal Engine. I'm trying to think if I can give some bigger suggestions. I'm just gonna watch right here. UDK is free, by the way. If you go to UDK, if you just search in UDK in Google, it'll pull up a download link, and you can download it and install it. And then it comes down to licensing from there. But yes, Chivalry, Devil May Cry, that's right. Borderlands, that's right. Another one that's in Unreal Engine. Batman, the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, both are in UDK. Let's see what else. I'm trying to see if anyone's listening anymore. Killing Floor, yep, that was an older version. Splinter Cell is. Skyrim is not. It's not UDK. BioShock, yep. Payday isn't. Unreal Tournament Series. Red Faction. I can't remember if Red Faction is. It might be. Most of these, yeah, Dungeon Defenders is. XCOM, I think, might have been too. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of them that are in UDK because it's such an easy engine. Because what it is game companies don't have to build an engine from scratch. They have this thing that's pretty much made from a blank slate, and then you can just throw all your assets in. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of game companies that use this engine, which means, like I was saying, a lot of companies are looking for people that can specialize or at least have a decent knowledge of the Unreal Engine to hire, whether that be for cinematics or set design, or Unreal Script if you really want to go into that kind of stuff. But that's a whole different ball game that I have not really explored. I think I made a weapon once, but that was about it. So anyway, like I said, you can go download the Unreal Engine. This is right now. I just downloaded last night the February 2013 beta, which is the very newest version, and I haven't really had a chance to take a peek. I did not install all my custom stuff. That way you guys would be using the same exact things, as to, you guys wouldn't get confused with me using all these custom meshes and, random stuff. So I wanted to keep it simple. Anyway, probably one of the biggest things I'm going to go over when I get on to like basic courses is going to be, the GUI, the whole layout here. All these buttons, what do they do? What do they contribute to? And then the whole content browser, and then the fact that UDK is made up of I don't even know the number, but probably around 30-something programs. It's pretty much a system of 30-something programs all built into one convenient, fairly bug-free editor here. So I mean, if you're looking through here, you've got the content browser, which by itself is something that you can go through and has plenty of functions. You've got the anim set editor, which is another thing. Just give it a second to boot up here. And this will let you do a ton of different things. You get the particle system editor, material editor, face effects is built in, which is a face morphing software. Look at this little turtle. Look at this little jerk. Look at him. Look at that jerk. What does he think he's doing with those big eyes and that beak thing, his purple shell? Anyway, but yeah, there's just so many different types of programs that are built into UDK, and to become a specialist at all of them, which would be called a generalist in this case, it's kind of hard because there's just so many different things you can learn, which is why different studios have effects department that specialize in working with particle systems in the Cascade editor, which is this thing right here, because you can go through and add a billion different things and do incredible things. Let me see if I can find a particle system you can kind of see. Here's one right here. It's not that fancy, but hey, you can kind of see it a little bit. But yeah, it's just made up of whole different aspects and a bunch of cool stuff. So that's there we go. This is probably the best one to show. There we go. Like how would you make fire? You make it in the Cascade editor. So yeah, that's how that works. So yeah, there's just so many different things that make up Unreal, and don't expect to be able to learn them all and be an expert at all of them. I chose to be an expert at Matinee, or not be an expert, but specialize in playing around with Matinee and getting really used to that, because my background is in machinima, And it's one of the funner things when it comes to the Unreal Engine, which I'm gonna, you know, kind of touch on more than just about anything. But I want to kind of give any kind of things I've gone through, because I've been sitting here screwing around with this thing for the past 3 or 4 years, and every day I've been messing with this engine, I learned something new. And part of the learning curve was I would go in and, oh, look at this blood splat. Wait, restart. Oh, look at that blood. Look at that blood. Anyway, part of the process I went through was I would go into the different games I was talking about that use Unreal Engine. I'd extract their stuff, which would come with all their assets, but it would be all broken down, and then learning how to fix it and put it all back together correctly, like the game engines did, which didn't always work out, but sometimes I could figure it out. But it's all a huge learning curve. Before I get started, today I'm actually going to be doing something pretty simple. I'm just going to be building a nice little simple map that you guys can follow along with. I'll go semi-slow, but since this is more of a preview thing, I'm not going to go over any of the buttons and stuff. I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm using to make stuff and how I go about it and stuff. So I'm going to check for any questions right now. Any questions? Let's see here. Waiting for the lag to kick in. When can we expect the first class? I'll be doing the first class. I should probably do a bigger session about main questions when I'm at the very end. So this is more of you know, what I just talked about. How do we UDK? Are you eating, Coots? No, I'm not. I'm drinking. Teach material editor. That will be one of the things I go over. Not today, but Matinee. Matinee is the cinematics editor. It's pretty much like a video editor that's built into the engine, so it lets you, you know, control cameras, and it also lets you control different effects of the level. So let's see. Import meshes. What is, that's not even a question. Okay, this is getting. How do you animate for the engine? A lot of the times, what you do, there's not a built-in animator like with the Source engine, with the Source Filmmaker. There's actually, you pretty much have to have like 3ds Max or Maya, and you have to import animations for the most part, which is like the only thing they haven't built in yet. And I hadn't seen it up until the Source Filmmaker, so I was pretty surprised when I saw it in there. Okay, I'll actually just go over questions at the end because there's like way too many. I don't want to just sit there looking around. So when you boot up UDK, content browser pops up, which is this thing, and this pretty much is your hub of all things that are assets. So like textures, animations, materials, particle systems, skeletal meshes, static meshes, they're all here. And there's even more types, but they kind of categorize them by the favorites and the more commonly used. And then the random ones are all here. So that's pretty much that. That's about all I'll go over. And then you can just get rid of that. The Welcome to UDK screen brings up this thing. And this is great because they have a bunch of video tutorials that if you really wanted to sit down and watch them all, they'll really give you some good insight into a few things. Some of the tutorials are pretty out of date though. They're using like the old Unreal Engine. Not the Unreal Engine 2, it's still Unreal Engine 3. So you'll still learn some stuff, but they don't cover a lot of newer things because there's it's just an older version, and there's a lot of stuff in the betas they've added, especially with mobile stuff, but I haven't even messed with that before. But then they have documentation for pretty much everything. It was really funny because when I first started this, and up until I started to learn a lot, they never had any documentation on the stuff I was trying to learn, like face effects, you know, all these random little things in UDK you don't learn about. I had to just fiddle around with until I got it to work. And then, of course, they get the documentation later. So now you guys have documentation. So this is going to be your biggest source of anything that you have questions with. You go here, and it'll pretty much give you a pretty good rundown of what's going on. Video tutorials, like I said, there's a bunch of them from 3D Buzz. His name is Zach. Where's my book? Zach Parrish. Zach Parrish. I just looked at the book because they made some books too that I'll recommend at the end of this. But yeah, they made some books and they're really good, and that's kind of what got started for me. Forums, obviously, if you want to go discuss stuff about UDK, what's new. That's just the news, and then Facebook. You'll like them on Facebook. Okay. So I usually don't use this, so I uncheck it, but I guess I will use the new map function. So I'll just hit that, and this will bring up, they've actually set up, this is more recent that they've set this up. They'll automatically do the lighting and skybox and stuff for you, but I don't want to do that. We want to start on a blank map. So here we are. This is used to, when you used to boot up, this is what you'd usually come to right here, which is, a blank map with, the little box here, which is the level brush thing. What is it called? Builder brush, yeah. I'm trying to remember all these terms. It's been a while since I've really done anything. I will go over quick basic navigation before I do anything. There's several ways of moving around in here, and I think there's a few of them I can't quite remember. So let's see if they actually took that one out, unless it's in the preferences somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I won't even go over that. That's more. They added some like similar Maya controls, but I don't even know if they have those in here anymore. Anyway, so easiest way to tell gamers how to use this is you right click, your mouse disappears, you can look around, and WASD, and then you can fly around. It's just like being in no clip anywhere. You just have to remember to have your right mouse click down. Another way is using the mouse completely. You can drag, of course you can do the look around like this, but if you now hold down the left mouse button at the same time, you can pan. So like moving around, just not doing more than that. And, you have to unclick to look around, but you can pan when you have both of them down. So that's helpful. And then if you only use the left mouse button, you can, I think it's called driving, where you just like move the mouse forward and it kind of moves along where your mouse is going, and then backward, of course, sideways, all that great stuff. So play around with that a little bit. It's good to get used to because you'll be moving around a lot. And then, of course, for the camera controls, there's the movement speed. So if you have a big map you need to get across fast, and then, of course, you go back down to slight movement speed when you're in need of what's it called? Moving around little spaces. So here we have the builder brush, El Builder Brusherino, if you will. And this thing, let me just double check 1 second before I do anything. I just got to make sure the stream's okay still. This thing right here is pretty much your hub of BSP geometry and anything volume-wise. So if you're making any kind of volume, and what I mean by volume is post-process volume, gravity volume, like if you need to change gravity of an area, sounds, like if you need to change a sound or something like that, or the effects of a sound, that's all done with this thing. So I won't go into it much more than that. Let's build a floor. We're going to make a room. This is just going to be a basic room for now. And we're going to have it stretch pretty much this area. And we can do this by a few ways. I'm going to look in here. You can, to do simple, easy rooms, you can do hollowing of the cube, and it automatically makes a hollow BSP when you create this, when you get it to the right size. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make this cat's meow style. So you get over here on the left, you can customize what you want it to look like. That's the nastiest code I've ever seen, but it's pretty much going to assume that shape. But if you go to the geometry mode, it'll bring out this little thing, and it will let you grab different sides of the cube and adjust them, accordingly, however you need them. I'm just going to make a little floor here. This doesn't need to be thin. The BSP geometry always clips on your player, so unless you tell it otherwise, or maybe it doesn't. I can't remember. But anyway, let's just stretch this out here. I'm just going to make it the size of this thing. Usually a good idea when you're building geometry. It is usually a good idea to bring in. Where is he? This guy right here. I don't know. It's probably not letting me drag because there's really nothing in the map to drag to. Whoa! So anyway, this guy right here is going to just kind of be my scaling majig. Oh, what's going on? Did my mouse just die? What's going on? Mouse? Hello? Can you guys still hear me? Oh, okay. I can't move my mouse. What in the world is going on right now? I apologize for this. My mouse won't move. I can like click down and move, but my mouse won't move otherwise. Oh, this is weird. Let me just... What is going on? This doesn't make any sense. It's not the mouse's problem. No! Oh, no. Well, as you can see, this guy is standing here, and he answered exactly what I needed to know. What in the world? Did I do something wrong? It's probably because I put him in there in geometry mode, and then I screwed something up. Oh, great. What, Shepherd? I know. I don't know what to do. I would go down. One second. Let me go to the Twitch chat. What did I do? Might be Alt-Tab. Punch your screen. See, I can't Alt-Tab. Look, I'm Alt-Tabbed right now. My mouse is just sitting on the Twitch thing. Oh, no. I am Alt-Tabbed. I am Alt-Tabbed. I don't know what to do. This is terrible. Now Control-Delete. Yeah, I probably will have to do that. One second. I can't move my mouse in there. What? What in the world? Okay, one second. I'm gonna quick. I might have to close down UDK really quick, if I can get to it. Start Task Manager. UDK. Where are you? End process. How do I do that? Delete process. Hey, there we go. Oh, that's funny. Let's boot that up again. My bad. Yeah, that wasn't the mouse's issue. That was UDK's issue. That was UDK's issue. I've never had that happen to me before. Okay. Back to this. Lesson number 1. Don't drag in a mesh while you're trying to use the builder block. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do here, one thing I should probably tell you guys is I usually go in this view mode, but it's usually good when you're doing geometry to work in the orthographic viewport, which if you know what orthographic is, it is top down, front, side, and then the perspective. So this lets you see, you know, what's in game, and then all these different options will tell you, it will give you different views. So I need the top down. I'm going to line it up to, I think, is the middle point. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. Oh no. So there we go. We got that. This is our block. Then now let's go back into geometry mode. I'll select it over here. So I was just going to make it the size of one of these areas here because it's going to be pretty big otherwise. Okay, and then back down. What is it, Shepherd? Man. Let me get this a little bit smaller. Doesn't really matter, but... See, right here, another thing is the snap grid. I'm actually going to turn that up a little bit because I'm trying to work with getting these things in the right place. Did I just... No, I got the right one. Try and make a big square. Okay, let's get out of geometry mode. No, not floating copy. So, we have our thing here. This is a fairly big room too, because what we saw. Now that we have the floor, we can do two things. You can make this the floor, or you can go into a little bit more detail with what's it called, with the geometry editor, and make walls and stuff, which is it's okay, but it brings some problems because what I do here is I put the snap grid pretty high, 64, and then hit the extrude, because what this does is it creates like a separate section to the block that you can manipulate in different ways. So if I do this to each side, just extrude it one click, one snap, I should say. You got to be careful though, because you got to grab faces here, otherwise you'll grab edges, because you can grab the little edges here and also make those wonky shapes and such. You can go pretty crazy with the geometry. The only thing about the geometry while I make these, these walls here is, oh no, I did extrude again. I didn't want to do that. Can I undo that? Yes, I can. Good. Okay, you want to do edit with stuff like this because you have a new face you're working with. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Extrude it is. Anyway, what was I even talking about? When you're working with geometry, once you extrude it, then you edit. When you're working with geometry like this, geometry is actually very old. It's not really something that they use a lot anymore, but nowadays it's still good to know how to create it. Man, what am I doing? I'm all over the place here. Edit, undo, edit, undo. What did I do? Man, Control Z is your friend in this. And edit. Anyway, but the geometry, the BSP geometry as they call it, is kind of out of date. They don't really use it anymore. Ever since they kind of found out that static meshes are kind of the way to go with level design, because they can be static meshes can be rendered once, and then after that rendered again a bunch of times at a lot less of a hassle of resources. So it's pretty useful and handy. So now they don't really use this anymore, but it is good to know how to use it still. So that's why I still use it, and it's actually pretty convenient when you're making machinimas to be able to jump into this and just kind of make up walls and stuff. Right now we're just making a nice simple map. Hopefully it's the right size. If it's not, then we're kind of in trouble. I'm trying to think what I want for the ceiling. I might make the ceiling out of static meshes. No. Well, no, I'll just make it out of. So we'll do. So we have this thing. We have this whole room kind of created. Like I said before, you can do the hollow version of this, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of insight into how to do these types. So to make the roof, of course, you would just do the same thing as the walls, but extrude one, and then extrude again, and edit, and stretch across. To make it perfect, I'm just going to line it up. Well, I guess I can. I'm just going to have to bring it over farther. It's kind of sloppy. Oh, well. So, if I hit the build CSG add, it will create a room. Bam! Dun 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 dun. And like I did before, I'm going to add this little guy in here. I'm actually going to save the map really quick. Save as UDK School Preview. There you go, save. Before I meow the meow and do this. Okay, so let's add this guy in here. Boom! See, it's a big room. Nice and big room, but not too big. Because I think with one of my tutorials I did, I made a massive room. It was just so big and ridiculous. So, this is better. Okay, as you can see here, this place is unlit. I'm actually going to get this builder brush back to normal just by clicking that. Be careful not to ever click that when you're in the middle of making something, otherwise it'll erase all your progress. And I don't know if you can undo that. So this is our room. As you can see here, it's CSG. It's got the standard texture. Everything's unlit. So our goal is to populate this. Let me just check the stream really quick, make sure everything's going good. Okay, good. This could make you go crazy after a while, so be careful. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm going to put my snap grid back down and get this guy sitting on the floor a little bit. I'm not sure. You can turn the snap grid off, by the way, but I don't usually recommend that when you're building stuff. Okay, so he's our level scale guy. We need to have him around to figure out exactly. This is still kind of, it's probably a little bit bigger than I wanted it, but oh well. That's not terrible. Yeah, always be aware of scale when it comes to this kind of stuff. Okay, so as you can see, everything seems to be sealed up quite nicely. No real errors are going to happen. But now we need to figure out what we want to do with this place. So, I have a plan. Not really. I'm just kind of gauging the environment here. Okay, one thing you can do with this little thing here is it also has what's called a subtract function. And CSG subtract will allow you to create windows if you want, or doors. Doors are good too. They let you get in and out of places. Pretty much what you do, you need to set up the priorities of what's going on. That way you can, you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, different things conflicting. So let's say we have a CSG subtract first and then an add. It pretty much cancels the effect of the subtract. There's different ways you can build in a map. There's the what's it called? There's the subtract mode where you pretty much start out with a solid block of CSG in your map and then you just carve out of that. Why did I just exit out of that? What am I doing? There we go. I'm just making a really big window. A really big window. And I wanted that about two things away. There we go. That should be good. Okay, so what this does is when I'm going to hit the subtract, it pretty much carves out of the add that we have. Because we put additive geometry in there. So it is carved out of it. That's kind of wonky. But it's not terrible. Yeah, because that's just the windowsill kind of thing. So there we go. We have this nice observation deck looking out into the black nothingness of space or whatever we want to do with that. Maybe we'll make a nice scenery out there. But as you can see, we have a nice observation deck. And I did this I made the window by adding a CSG block. You know, our CSG room here with additive geometry. And then I subtracted geometry from that. So, the best way you can view this now, let's get rid of that block again. Get out of here, buddy. We don't need you. The best way you can view what's going on here is, what like I talked about earlier, one of the different viewports here. You got the wireframe, which pretty much gives you a look of, you know, all your meshes in wireframe mode, including the CSG. You know, and all the tries, which are the triangular builds here. But you can also go into brush wireframe mode, which pretty much shows you the brushes that you've built. Here's the subtractive mode, or the subtractive brush I made that is carving into this additive brush, which is, you know, creating what you see here. So what you can do is you can grab, as you can see, I have this additive brush selected. Well, I did for a second there. Let me grab that again. I'll grab the subtractive. You can change the priority of it if I can find it here. CSG, you can change the additive, subtractive, or you can change the order. So what would this would pretty much put the, like I was saying earlier, put the subtractive geometry first. Hey, be quiet, you. Get out of here. My performance is not slow. Anyway, it would put the subtractive subtractive brush first, which would then make it so this additive brush comes after it, which would make it so this window is not here anymore. That is why this was added second, so that, you know, you can subtract from something that is there. That's pretty much how that works. It's basic math. That's all you need to know is basic math. If I know it, then you can probably learn it too, if you haven't already. Anyway, so we have our massive observation deck. We are going to create now. This is kind of like a hangar in Star Wars. That's what I'm getting from a vibe on this. Let's put in some basic materials into this level so we can get you know, a decent feel about what we're looking at here. So let's search in the content browser floor. So we got some materials here. We got some floor materials. I got to use one of them. I kind of like that one. I like that one too. BSP. See, these are set up for BSP too. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. So it's easy enough. BSP is pretty simple. Just drag and drop, and boom, you got your floor. Now, what we can do with this is we can do a lot of things with this, in fact. We can make it bigger. We go to the texture tool. This allows us to use these tools to scale it. And if you hit space, which toggles widgets, by the way, I'll get into that a little bit more later, you can adjust the scale. So we make little small tiles or big tiles. But remember that you're working with the material, so that it can get pixely and kind of iffy looking if you're not careful. So there we go. That's what we got for a floor. We got a floor, we got a guy, we got a room, we got an observation deck. We're moving along here. You're looking at, I don't even know how many square feet, probably about 10,000 or something like that. Now we need to work on the walls because they look kind of poopy with that nasty texture on it. We will get to adding lights after this, by the way. So now we've got floor. We could use a floor tile on the wall, but we don't really need to. Wall, because we need to look up a wall tile. We have these mini walls. Some of these walls are meant for shorter walls because, you know, they have a little bit of a trim on them. If you double click them, it'll open your material editor, which shows you exactly what nodes go into this material. This is a fairly simple material. There we go. That one's kind of out of the question. I think we're going to have to use something like this, more of a brick material, because a lot of these other materials are kind of designed specifically for, it's kind of a glossy brick. I like this one, though. Okay, maybe not. That has kind of a trim on it, too. How about this one? That might be a little better. What about this? That's not terrible. I'm trying to find something that doesn't really have a trim on it. That could work. These are really big walls, though, so it's kind of hard. This is probably the best one to do. Yeah, stuff like that, because it kind of fits in. So what we can do, if you have a bunch of other walls in here, you can Control-C, and then click Control-Select all the other walls. That should have selected that whole wall right there. And then we'll also select the faces here of the windowsill, because that would kind of count. And then Control-V. Okay, so there we go. We got a bunch of walls. As you can see here, this is kind of nasty looking because they've stretched it out. You can use surface properties to get a different effect on there. You can fit it. You can, you know, that'll just kind of stretch it, or you can box it, or you can planar, or you can default. So there's a lot of different options. It pretty much just kind of sets it up so it's not nasty looking if it's looking stretched. So there we go. We fixed that. Now we just need to make a ceiling. This is kind of a nasty little warehouse looking thing. I'm thinking all the materials in Unreal Tournament aren't that pretty looking anyway. So let's see if we can find a ceiling one. Ceiling. As you can see, I have material selected. I don't think we're going to get ceiling. This is more for a static mesh, it looks like. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to have to use one of the walls. Or we could use the floor texture too. It doesn't really matter. I'll use this. Did I use this one? Yeah, this one's good. Okay, so there we go. We have our nasty looking place here. We can get this a little bit bigger. Maybe this a little bit smaller. Maybe it'll look too tiley then. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so here we go. Here's our place here. Now, since we have a view and outside, there's got to be some sort of light source out there. So we'll quickly create that right up here. This is where we'll keep everything. I'm going to make a light source and then a fog source, because fog usually gives a very good, you know, it kind of fakes you into thinking things are a little farther away than they are, and kind of gives you depth. So it's kind of nice. Usually when you're creating outside light, it's best to use two different kinds of lights. You use a directional light, sometimes dominant, usually dominant, because it usually creates a lot of sun. So we'll add one of these bad boys here. Oh, whoops, I'm not in camera mode here. Okay, so this is pretty much telling us where this is usually like a sun. You would think of a sun. So I'm going to make one that kind of casts light inside here. As you can see, it'll cast light inside, and then that light, as you can see, it's really dark. Like, you'll notice that the shadows are completely pitch black. Oh, that'll be fixed in a second. This is just giving you a preview. And then at the same time, where's my content browser? It's down here. At the same time, let me just check on the stream really quick again. Everything seems to be going good. This is good. At the same time, you also want a skylight, because what a skylight does is it allows you to fill in those darker shadows a little bit. You don't really need it, but it's nice to just kind of break up shadows. So if I hit F4, it brings up the properties menu, and I can kind of bring in, go to light component and bump it down. I'll probably want like 2.2 here. That way the shadows aren't completely dark, but they're still kind of dark at the same time. Because what we're looking for here, we're going to be using like light mass, which is what a light build is going to do, is going to help out a lot with this, because it's going to reflect a lot of the light. Let's see here. I'm just trying to make sure that nothing's leaking through, because I was seeing some artifacts. I don't know if that's just there until I rebuild. So that's pretty much what that does. As you can see, I've got my dominant light source, which is going to cast a majority of the skeletal mesh shadows, and then I have my other light source, which is kind of filling in those shadows. So what I'm going to do now is breathtaking. Not really. But as you can see, lighting, even in the preview stages, is rather nice. So, I was going to make the fog next, that's right. So, as you can see in my map, I'm keeping all the attributes of the level kind of out of the way, so I don't need to worry about them too much. Now, let's see if they... there's different kinds of height fogs. The one that is mostly used, if you're not worrying about like specific areas, and in this case, we're not, is height fog. And pretty much what that does is at a certain height, fog is there. So if you go low into a map, fog's there, or if you need a horizon, fog's there. So as you can see, it's kind of foggy here now. I'm going to really kind of bump this fog down, because we don't want it this foggy. Density, and then you can change the color of the light. Extinction distance. So it's fairly useful to have height fog, especially in this case, as you can see here. And the light will not, if I go into play here, the light's not going to be, oh, well, I guess it gives you the preview in this one. I didn't think they could do that. Never mind, I'm stupid. So there we go. Let's actually do a quick, let's throw in a skybox really quick. Whenever you're working with outside, you want to usually use a skybox. I'm not really sure what's it called? Do we not have a sky? Yeah, there we go. That was weird. Static meshes. This one looks good. They don't have very many like standard ones in this map. So as you can see here, here's our skybox. It's going to be kind of iffy. Let's see which side we want facing us, because we want the one with the sun for now. So that's going to be the brightest spot, so we'll just pretend the sun's up there. Yeah, it looks like it is up there anyway. Yeah, let's turn it a little bit. Okay. So as you can see the what's it called? The boundary. I can actually fix that by using my fog here. Probably should have just left it then. Yeah, there we go. See, it fixes that. Okay, let's change this color. So you can change the fog here. Make it dark. You can make it light. I'm just going to keep it like that for now. I guess that's about all you can do. Trying to think if there's another thing to actually make the fog white, but I can't remember what setting that is. But as you can see here, we got our little setup going here. Let's actually do a quick light build. And by hitting build lighting, you're doing that. It's going to use light mass, which is pretty much... I'll explain why it's doing that. I'm just doing preview quality because you don't really need... But pretty much it collects everything in the scene. Materials, like surfaces. Get out of here. I haven't run this version of the engine. So pretty much what Swarm does is Swarm takes in, as you can see, it exports the scene. It grabs like the light sources. It starts light mess up. What it does, it emits photons, which are like little fake particle or fake light sources or whatever. I'm not really sure exactly, so I'm just kind of talking like a creature. It collects it emits them, and what that does is from the light sources, it bounces them around the map. And it pretty much simulates light as in real life. It tries to anyway, and it bakes it into the map so it doesn't have to do it in real time. So it'll send in light sources, so they're bouncing around in here, and losing power as they bounce off of different surfaces. Some surfaces are more reflective, some are duller, so they're not going to bounce it as far. And then it collects them, it collects the data, and then processes light maps, and then it sends the light maps into the map, so that it can, it can bake in static lighting, static shadows and such, so that anything that isn't an interactive dynamic object inside the map has its light built in, which just pretty much optimizes the engine a little bit more. Examples of this, if you see trees, walls, stuff like that in any UDK game. Oh yeah, another UDK game that's Smite is. I forgot about that. Smite and Tribes. I really don't worry about these errors right now. You don't have to. As you can see here, it's brought in a little bit of the light and kind of bounced it around in different places. And it's obviously a tiny bit brighter than it was. And this guy is, he's like, sup, I'm a guy. I'm a guy just hanging out. So, it's okay that it's kind of dark in here because we're going to create our own light sources. I should probably make a window really quick. Let's see. So, let's get... as you can see on the side here, they actually have building collections. Let me take a drink quick. I'll check on the stream too. How's everyone doing? Well, I'm taking a drink here and taking a quick break before I start. Meow, lol, immaturity. Good, good. Overwhelmed. Yeah, well, this is the way it is sometimes. Brown. Okay, that's good. It's kind of laggy. Well, it doesn't look like it's laggy. It might be your internet, sadly. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to go again. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, so we have right here under cool building meshes. And wait, where'd the other ones go? I just saw like a whole bunch of stuff. All assets. There we go. As you can see here, we got a whole bunch of building meshes built in. What we're going to do now is populate this little area, and I prefer to do it in unlit mode, and I would recommend you guys to do it as well if you have a lower end computer, because it's going to start generating preview lighting for some of the meshes we put in, and that tends to lag stuff. So I'm going to leave it in unlit mode for now. What are we? So I want to actually make like a balcony here. So because I don't feel like using stairs in game, I'm actually going to do a cheap way of using stairs. And that is to build it BSP style. Opa BSP style. It's going to look kind of ugly, of course, but let's see here. Curved stairs, linear stairs. Okay, so here we go. We got our stair system. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll just get it really close. I would use orthographic here, but I'm too lazy. Too lazy to use orthographic. Snap grid, I'm going to throw up to 90 degrees. That way, you know, when I turn it, it's going to snap 90 degrees, obviously. Sometimes you can... Okay, so you can adjust the steps here. So I'm going to do 15 steps. And then... step width 100. Is that too short? No, that's good. Step height, trying to gauge it off of this guy. That should be good. I'll put it a little bit lower. 13. Step length. That's good. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We got our stairs. And what we're going to do with these stairs is create a platform. or create, you know, like a way up to a platform here. We're gonna have like a balcony back a little farther. I think I'm pretty much creating like a Star Wars, what's it called? What's it called? Anyway, let's just add this really quick and see what we're looking at. So one of those bad boys. And of course, in the... If you, oh, by the way, another quick tip. If you're dragging something like this, and if you hold shift, it'll drag the camera with you, so you don't have to worry about, you know, doing tedious, like, drag it, move the camera, drag it, move the camera. Okay, so let's add that. There we go. We got our steps. Now we create... we can actually create... I'll actually use the BSB thing again. So we have steps over there. I might actually make like a... I'll test it in a second, but I was going to make a spiral staircase in the middle, kind of like the ones that kind of curve out like that, kind of fancy style, even though it's like a nasty looking environment. It's a nasty looking environment. Okay, let's get this up a little bit higher. Not that high. Well, let's just adjust this first. What am I doing? So, now we go back into geometry mode. Geometry mode. And we drag this one up. So, a lot of the times what I like to do in these different things is I like to create the map, like initially with the BSP, and then go in afterwards and decorate the BSP with the static meshes. Like, instead of creating the thing strictly out of, you know, just meshes, I like to go in, you know, and make the BSP look pretty for the most part. And then let me just make sure that's all lined up good. We're not going to look at any leaks here. Not leaks, but... Oh, come on, man. What am I doing? It's freaking out here. You guys are making me nervous. Trying to line it up. The best way to do this right here would be orthographic viewport, but of course... Am I not, like... What's going on here? What? What you? Can I not make it any smaller? Hello? I guess I'm just going to have to meow the meow cats and extend this where it needs to go. Okay, there we go. Let's just get this all the way across really quick. Okay, it's extending outside the level. If I don't need to use the outside of the level, you got to be conscious of this stuff too, by the way. If you're not using the outside of the level, you can pretty much do a lot of, you know, random little things, like being able to drag it a little farther than usual just to be safe. But if you are using the outside of this at all, like you're going to be standing out here, be careful of, you know, screwing that up. You don't want to make it look like poop. That's one thing to be aware of, which I never really worry about because you're building a set and you don't need to worry about that stuff. Okay, here we go. So there's our little area there. And our platform is built. So there's like the upper platform. Let's see here. We will need to build, I'm going to add some pillars in there too. Like I said, I'm going to kind of beautify this stuff with plenty of, what's it called? One thing you can do, if you want to do in geometry mode, if you see here, I'll go into geometry mode, and if I select this and grab this face, I can still edit it. So I'm going to move this back a little bit. So that's in the wall, perfect. As you can see, it's not doing anything. Right now, man, I can't even talk today. Anyway, it's not doing anything extremely. What did I do there? Such an idiot. Undo modifier. Extrude. So as you can see, when I go back into game, it doesn't do anything to the actual brush. This is because you have to, when you're not specifically adding stuff and modifying brushes, you need to, what's it called? You need to actually update the map's build. So up here it says build geometry, and you just click on that really quick, and there it's updated. And of course, that also breaks the lighting, so you have to rebuild. But for now, it's good. For now, it's good. So as you can see, we're building this. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend using this because as you can see, it kind of turns into like a nasty looking thing. But I'm just using it for time's sake because we only have like another hour and a half or 2 hours here. And I want to get this thing pretty nice and built and then have a nice Q&A session after. So as you can see, we got a nice little area here. We got our staircase. I'm trying to think what else if I should add like another staircase going up. Or like a extension to like a little thing that'll pop up. Yeah, I think I'll do that. He needs to kind of get out of the way. You move. Move, you! Okay, this is bugging me. Get out of here. Get out of here, fog. I want to see you again. I want to see you again. Okay. We have our map here. I'm just kind of mentally trying to figure out what I want to do with it next. We want to... What do you want to do, buddy? You want like a little observation thing going up here? I think that's more again. I don't want to get into static mesh yet. I want to make sure I have everything BSP wise done. I think that's about it. Okay, so we're done with BSP. I don't want to screw around with it anymore. From now on, I'll just use static meshes. So BSP, you can get out of here. Let me just decorate quickly all these, which is going to be kind of a pain because I'm going to have to go through and create plenty of click, 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 paste. There we go. See, it kind of blended in. That's good. That's good. Click, 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 click. Boop, bida, boop, bida, 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 bida. A Christmas tree. Okay. So now we figure out if we want this to be a similar. I guess that'd be fine. Gonna give these stairs. Should I make the stairs that? Yeah, might as well. Okay, no, we want that to be. I was gonna make that the tile really quick. Oh, whoops! I missed some stairs. I missed some stairs. There we go. This is gonna be that. And this is going to be this. That way, keep some kind of consistency there. Bum 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 bum. BSP geometry. Is it cat meow 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 meow? Okay, sweet. Now we can just do that over here really quick. Bim 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 bim. I'm really excited for as far as the Unreal Engine 4 is looking amazing. So I am extremely excited for what that's going to turn out because it's just like this plus a million because they have so many like pretty much what they're doing is they just need to improve engines by adding better real-time renderers so they can render more stuff in real time. Oh, whoops. I put the wrong thing in there. Sorry, I just burped. I just burped. Do 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 do. There we go. Perfect. We got this nasty looking place going. So now that's the ceiling. And then I guess this will be that. There we go. So there we go. We got our like little setup here. You can barely really see what's going on because it's unlit. And there's not really any definition going on. We'll get to that in a second. The next step would be, let's rebuild the lighting really quick so we can see what it looks like. Because if I go to if I go to a preview, it's not going to really do much. So we don't need to rebuild the lighting. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's not much. When I start adding lights in here, I'll rebuild it. So what do these areas need? They need some stuff. So what I usually like to do when I'm building a map is I go in. Hey, it's a storm grate. Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm going to add one. I want to add one here. Where did it end up? What? Is it invisible? What in the world? What in the world? Did I turn static meshes off? I didn't think I did. Blah, blah, blah. Show. Static meshes. Yeah, they're on. What in the world? Oh, well. Sometimes they're weird like that. Let's see here. Let's see here. So we got some ferns. I'm a big fan of adding any kind of foliage inside of games. I mean, inside of maps, no matter what they are. So I'll probably add them in here. So I'll get to that. But right now, probably search lights. So any kind of light that we need to work with. This is no idea what that is. And Unreal Engine has some weird stuff in it. I'll tell you what. Okay, here we go. We're getting into the industrial style lighting. This is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some lights here. And then some lights under here, of course. We'll get to placing them in later. I'm just going to place some lights that I think will look cool. Some wall sconces. And light. Okay, I think that's about it. I guess I'll grab one of these nasty ones here. This bad boy. Okay, so we have our lights. Now, just to arrange them in a manner that would be fitting. These are kind of freaky looking lights. So I'm going to arrange these ones on the wall here. And then snapping 128. We'll do twice. Twice down, but we'll wait. Let's get to the edge here. Let's get to the edge. We'll put 3 down here. Then grab these meshes. And by the way, I'm alt dragging to duplicate these. And 3 up there, like that. Perfect. So we got 6 lights on this side. And we can duplicate those again and bring them all the way over here. Space toggles widgets, so you can go from translation to rotation. Translation to rotation. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, so we're going to untoggle that really quick just so I can get this right on the wall. Get our wall sconces. Okay, so we just need to figure out exactly where this is lined up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but sometimes if you need it to be perfect, I would recommend going into the orthographic. There we go. So we got lights on 2 sides. We're going to light this place up. Okay, what are we looking at here? Okay, there we go. Let's get this toggled off really quick just so I can get this right on there. Now, what we do is we're going to toggle them. No, 128. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So what I'm going to do really quick to try and get this a little bit closer is, what am I doing here? Where is it? There it is. Select all. There we go. Select all matching actors. So pretty much that'll bring up this thing, which kind of allows me to drag. Wait, Control Z. Get out of here. My computer's performance is fine. So that'll bring it to a point where I can kind of gauge what the best, like, just close enough. There we go. So all those are the pretty much same. So we got some wall sconces over there. We got a few that are hanging off of here. Probably a little bit too many, actually. Let me delete these. I'm going to delete the, yeah, I'm just, last minute design choice. I'm going to get rid of some of these, because they're not all necessary. There's a little bit too many of them. Delete. There we go. That's better. That's better. So we got these things under here, which we're going to attach the walls. Actually, make them a little bit bigger, so we'll scale them up. This is the beauty of static meshes. They can be scaled. Act like it's attached to the wall. Oh, it's attached to the wall! Oh. So, we'll get this bad boy over to the other side really quick. And remember, there's no real need to do anything symmetrical, but I just like doing it sometimes when I'm building a room like this, because that would only make a little bit of sense. Then we'll get this massive thing. I'm actually going to downsize this a little bit. We're going to make some fluorescent lights on the ceiling in here. In the world. Go up. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Up, 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 up. There we go. I'm actually going to do it in between. How's that for spacing? It's good enough. I might actually make them... kind of want to make them a little bit smaller, but oh well. It's not a huge deal. Okay, we're going to get these light sources going like crazy. Did I make one over that on that side too? I didn't. Wait, no, I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we got our light sources in there. And then we're going to use this bad boy for the ultimate light source. This is going to be the light source that they don't even know what's happening with this light source. It's just there. It's just there. Make it a little bit bigger, of course. It's like the eye. The all-seeing eye. I'm going to check on my orthographic view here to make sure that's somewhat in the middle. According to my eyeing, it's going to be right there. There we go. That looks good. Close enough. It doesn't need to be perfect like I always say. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. Okay, so we got our light sources. Now, these light sources are a little bit more complicated than usual. Because some of these, as you can see, look at this thing. It's flickering. This one looks good. And another thing, they all have what's called emissive materials. So you can see that they're all shining even though they're not lit yet. You can use this to your advantage. You can either tell it to... There's one way you can actually tell this to emit light. So, light mass. You can actually have use emissive for static lighting, which pretty much builds in whatever this emissive, property and these properties tell it to emit. I don't like doing that all the time because it can lead to just issues. Not having an easy enough time doing stuff like that. I should probably throw some lights up there too. 1 second. 1 second. I got to throw some lights up here. Make these lights bigger too. So we're gonna do just 3 of them. Three in no particular like spacing or anything. Just putting up 3 of them. Yeah, I'll do this. Put it in between those ones. Okay, so there we go. We got your lights. Now, the funnest part is lighting up the scene. I'm going to first make these ones. So, L, and then click on it, and boom, light cats meow. Okay, we're going to, as you can see, it's simulating, you know, a dynamic light right now, trying to say, oh, look, this is what we'll do. But it's not going to be what they do. It's just giving you a little bit of an estimate. For these lights, I'm actually going to bring the brightness down a little bit, 0.8. It's going to cast shadows. Yeah, all that stuff's good. The only thing we need to adjust here is how big it is, because it's kind of big, so probably about a 250 radius. As you can see, it's affecting light. I mean, it's affecting surfaces in this area, and then those surfaces are bouncing to other areas. So, maybe I'll make it 300. At least give it a little bit. And then you can adjust the fall-off exponent, which means the brightness of the light as farther it goes. We're not going to really mess with that. I don't really want to have to. And then we can adjust the color, which is more of a yellowish. It's like a brownish yellow, I guess you could say. There we go, that's good. And then we can duplicate it. Duplicate it. Duplicate it. Duplicate it. And a duplicate it. Duplicate it again. Oh, and one more time, I guess, because I forgot to delete this one. Get out of here! Okay, so there's our first light sources. We can actually quick duplicate this one and bring it up here, because it's the same color. So why waste the same color properties? But we'll adjust some other ones, because this light is obviously a little bit more powerful, because it's bigger. That's what I'm saying anyway. So we'll put that inside. Whoever designed that model was smart, because they built in geometry inside of the light so it could cast shadows like this. So that's pretty cool. Give them a big round of applause. So this one's going to be 700. And it casts about a 1.2. So as you can see, it's kind of affecting a little bit more area there. Yeah. There we go. We got our main lights. Let's put a light right here. This one's kind of flickering. It's actually a white light too. I want to say that's actually almost perfect, just having it like the standard right now. So yeah, that's good. There we go. So there we go. We got our lights for those. Well, you know what? I'm going to turn it down a little bit. That's kind of harsh. There we go. That's good enough. Still low, but okay. In fact, I'm going to get rid of these because they're too close to the... They're too close. Trying to look at symmetry here as much as I can. I think I need to move these a little bit down. Let's move them down a little bit. Just a wee now. So it's a little bit better. There we go. Okay, now we do lighting for these. Fluorescent lighting, obviously. It's going to be a little bit trickier trying to get the right setup here. A little bit dimmer, I'm guessing. But, of course, a bluish... I'm going to give it a bluish hue. A bit of a bluish hue. Okay, so It's hard to gauge like what the lighting's gonna be like. It's probably gonna be pretty bright in here. I might have to. I'm more than likely gonna have to turn some stuff down because I'm usually when you get into this many lights, it gets kind of hectic and stuff ends up going a little bit worse than you wanted it to, and such and such and such. Okay, so I'm gonna really make this a nice. And then if you you can use the scale thing to actually increase the radius. That's a pretty dominant light. I'm guessing 1.2. There we go. So I'm probably gonna have to end up going around turning most of these down. Okay, so let's get this radius down. Where's that radius? Okay, just went up. 300. It's gonna be an orangish light again. So it's like a brownish color. That's cool. Once you start getting into like putting different lights down, they really like the lighting in Unreal really blends together really nicely. You can create some really cool looking stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to convert these lights for what I'm about to do with them. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I'm just going to keep on working while I am. While I am. Okay, so there's those ones. Let me check the stream really quick. Hey guys! Hi stream! Hi stream! How's it going? Okay. Good to see how close I got these together now. Let's see if I got them semi-on or spot on. Pretty close, just a little bit off. Tiny bit. No, those are actually decent. I'm going to leave those like that. Nah, I'll just give them a bump over this way. Okay. Let's see here. Bada boop. Bada bing. Bada cats. Bada cats. So we have our lighting done. Indoors. It's going to be pretty bright. I can feel it already. I might actually turn some of these down. More so the fluorescence than anything. 0.8. Yeah, these things affect way too much room. You guys need to be turned down. Howard. I'm not sure if that's the same value I had it at, but it looks a little bit better. Okay, let's build the lighting. Let's build the lighting. And see how it looks. While it's building, let's go to the chat. Hi, chat. How are you doing, chat? How are people doing in the chat? Just take a stretch. No one's talking. What am I supposed to do? Oh, there we go. Cat's meow brown. Good. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, hey, there's Gamma. I'll actually mod him. Oh, try to click on his name. There you go. Sorry, Gamma. I see a few mods I recognize from the creature chat. Enjoy your mods, guys. Help me out. Okay, light build's almost done. Meow, 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 meow. There's a lot of people in here. There's a lot of people in here, man. That's pretty cool that you guys are all coming to see some UDK. The ultimate UDK! Okay. And there is our light build. And if we hit G, we'll go into game mode, and this is what you see in game. Not bad at all. I like it. Brings in a nice little vibe into the atmosphere. See, look at that. It's looking good. It's looking good. I'll run around in it for a few seconds. Look at our place. Our house. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, all these look pretty good. Okay, I'm not gonna do that now, actually. There is something I would do to these lights to make them so they actually flicker along, but that would take too much time, and I don't think I have enough time to do that, so I apologize. Now it is time. I am really itching to make some pillars, so pillar. The great thing about UDK is the fact that you can... Okay, I guess we don't have any pillars. You can repurpose, like I was saying, you can repurpose a lot of stuff. And what that means is you can use different items for different purposes just by rescaling them and flipping them around and all that great stuff. That's why a lot of games, when they design, you know, they're... Ooh, there we go. There's a column. That's pretty cool looking. It's kind of more Aztec-y. I don't even know if I'll put that in if I can't find anything else. But anyway, they design a lot of different meshes that can be used for different things. Like right here, you got a pipe, but that's easily used as I could easily use that as a column, and it's probably what I'm gonna do. Support beams, stuff like this. This is like super easy to use. In fact, I'm gonna use that. Now that I see that, unless I see this, no, that's not what we want. But yeah, they just use a whole bunch of different things that can be used for whatever you need them to be. There we go. Here's the columns. Here's the columns. I'm actually gonna put some. Okay, well, let's put these in here. These columns. These columns, Howard. So they're actually perfectly sized. That's the funny thing too. I have no idea how that happened. Okay, let's put them here. Oops. Remember, I'm just doing this by eye, too. No sense of... It's usually best when you're building like this to build things, you know, pretty decently accurate and not sketchy like I'm doing it. I'm not doing it really sketchy, but... See, right there, there's already like a little bit of an issue. If I did this, though, this is what I can do. I can grab all these. It's going to take a second for me to do, so bear with me here. Oh, accidentally moved that at the same time. Stop doing that. No! Stuff is getting moved when I'm, like, clicking. Okay, next one. I should, like, keep my mouse super still when I click. I'm just trying to grab all these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them all over to try and create better creaturistic times here. Okay. There we go, that looks good. Close enough anyway. Close enough. So that's just our supports right there. You gotta remember to build those. I saw some other wall supports in here that we could add. And pretty much what these would be is just something that's giving the wall some support. Who knows, maybe we could be thousands of miles underground here. Thousands of miles, and these walls need all the support they can get. Because of all the dirt that's up against them. Just wanting to break through and kill everyone inside. Dude, look at that. We've created more. Then I'll create these two duplicated. Bring them over here. Yeah. You have to create a story for this. A story. Like I said, thousands of miles underground. Oh, I gotta turn off the ambient occlusion. This thing's nasty. Nasty ambient occlusion. Get out of here. There we go. Looks poopy with ambient occlusion on. You know what that is? It's like a... It's a method to make stuff run better, but at the same time it leaves artifacts that look really nasty looking. So I do my best to avoid them at all costs. Okay, so let's create these columns back here. These ones are bigger, more beefy. They're holding back even more weight. we go. They've got even more weight on them. So there we go. We're looking good here. Let's see. What else should we add? What else should we add? We've got, we need to get some railings here. Let's see if we got any railings. We're going to have to repurpose some stuff, but I'm pretty sure I can get a decent rail going. Rail. They got this thing. This thing's terrible. I've had to use this before. Look at this thing. It's a piece of garbage. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to repurpose it, like I am using the word repurpose a lot. And what you can do is you can ununiform scale stuff, which you got to be careful with because it kind of stretches things a lot. So I'm going to use it that much. And tack it right on here as if it were a rail. Yeah, there we go. That's good. There we go. So I can put one here, one here. You got to be careful sometimes with these meshes. They tend to collide when they clip. There's like little artifacts that happen. You can see one happening right there. You got to be careful because sometimes if those are really big, they look really nasty. So whenever you're building with meshes, just be careful. The mesh clipping glitch. The mesh clipping glitch. Okay, so I can just build a nice simple rail system for now. Railing system, sorry. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, I just figured this out. I'm stupid. Why did I say they're 1,000 miles underground when they can... Never mind. Maybe they're 1,000 miles somewhere and this is all fake. Yeah, that's what it is. It's all fake. It's all fake. Let's see here. I'd create this. And we're almost done. Almost done with this rail. Almost done. It's kind of creating like a little thing. And to fudge this, I'm going to kind of cheat because I wasn't really paying attention to... What am I doing here? This way. Just stretch it out a tiny little bit. No one will ever know the difference. Yeah, there we go. And there's our rail. We can still get up it. If I had different rails, I'd create a rail system right here. You know, like just a handrail for that. But I do not currently have one of those because this is kind of a limited pack of static meshes. I'm almost thinking I want to delete some of those. Let's see here. 1, 2. That would mean there'd be 3. Nah, they're fine. There's just a little bit too many of them there, but okay. Useful building meshes. Let's stop searching under there. So we need this tank. I like the look of this tank. Of course, it's going to go under here because it's a tank. So this has all sorts of cool levers, and I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller because it's kind of getting big. What in the world? Get out of here, AVG. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna make 2 of them. Actually, gonna make 2 of them. Okay, there we go. So those tanks are hanging out under there. This is where all the tanks and stuff hang out, is underneath this. I know there's a different tank here. They don't really have that. I really wish they'd give you more meshes. There's actually a good chunk of them, but there's just not that many. Okay, so I'm just going to add a few of these barrels. I'm just going to see what I like to do now is go in and just kind of find every building mesh I want to use to populate the level, and then I just throw them all in and go from there. I'll like duplicate them if I need them and such. What is this? Hey, a window. That actually worked pretty well for what I'm doing. A biopot. Oh, that's the one with the green nasty stuff in it. Ew. Let's get some of these in here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at these pipes. Look at all these pipes. I'm actually going to make... So I'll drop all these pipes in with each other. I'll go in a second and create it like a little mini pipe system or something. You stay there, pipes. I'll make you into something soon. That's like a puzzle. Fire hydrant. I guess that'll go with the pipes. Okay, so now we're going to make this tank is going to go in here. Whoa! Actually, it should go up here. This will be the home of that tank. Make it a little bit smaller because it's kind of big. Do we have? Did I see a gauge in there somewhere too? Did I see a gauge? Yes, I did. There's a whole lot of gas tank stuff in here. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Let's put that right there. So right next to the gas tank. There's no rhyme or reason for it being there. Just meow. Just trust me on this. Trust me! What is that thing? I'm just trying to go through here and find... Just trying to find my way. This will be the stand. This will be the stand of this tank. Yeah. Okay. There we go. There we go. We got a tank. So we'll move that against the wall. We can scale up both items at the same time to try and get them to fit in that area a little better. There we go. Perfect. So as you can see, we're populating this level. Getting stuff in here that is, you know, making it look a little bit more like it's somewhat inhabited. Okay, you generator thing is going to go down here. Oh, man! Looks like a slug. Needs to fit in my little crevice here. So, we got plenty of machinery. I guess we get this switch box in here next to this generator thing. It'll tell a story that you need to get to the switch box before everything blows and everyone's dead. That's what that's for. And then a tank again. Another tank. Tank! Okay, let's go here. Get bigger. There we go. I'm kind of considering making some massive pillars in this room too, but I don't know. Okay. So a door. Of course I need a door. Where would the door be in this place? Probably right here. Get the blast doors in there. Oh, get out of here, AVG. Stupid jerk. And boom, cat's meow. Boom, cat's meow indeed. Okay, so there's the blast doors. We'll do something fun with them in a little bit. We'll just put them in here for now. They're not actually functional at the moment. But they may be. They may be. So maybe I should put some kind of... I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I need them. They need some kind of blast trim. Blast door trim. So I'll get that. I'll get to that in a second. Blast door trim. Blast door trim. This looks good. We're just adding meshes like crazy now. See, this is where it gets really... This is my favorite part of the level creation process. Is the the cats. Meow. The part where you add the static meshes is my favorite. Because then it's when it comes to life. Okay, let's get you right there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, need to just get this a little bit longer. So we turn to our trusty non-uniform scaler. And there we go, we have our blast door. It looks like a blast door. Okay. Another thing I want to just, before we go any farther, let's actually go back to the builder brush. You, buddy. One thing you can actually do with this is, like, when you need to, like, just make a quick volume, which would be like I was talking about, gravity volume, post-process volume, and I'm making a post-process volume, you can actually use the scaling tool to create a quick area, or the non-uniform scaling tool, which is not by default in the, what's it called, access. So there we go. We've completely encompassed some of our level, I guess. Yeah. And once we're completely surrounded, we're surrounded! We're surrounded! So there we go. It's completely surrounded. And then we go down to here, volumes. Wait, nope. Volumes. Post-process volume. There we go. So as you can see, it already added some bloom, which is something I was going to add anyway, so that's good. Let's actually do a few effects really quick. Get out of here, you. You're not the builder block, or you are the builder block. I don't need you though. So we're selected our post-process volume. If you go to F4, there are other ways of doing this. You can make post-process chains like this. I'm going to override it and then give this a 1 priority. And then we set up everything else. So depth of field, which would blur out everything that's in a certain. You can use those settings. Bloom, which would, you know, add the glow effect. Motion blur, scene effect, ambient occlusion. Take that off. That's garbage, like I was saying. Okay, so bloom scale. I'm actually gonna bump it up. It's gonna be kind of bright. Well, 1.3. Bloom threshold. If you put it down, this pretty much makes it so like more objects are affected by bloom. So like just textures that wouldn't necessarily make a bloom effect, kind of, you know, are a little bit more generous and shine a little bit more. So it can lead to some cooler effects. So it's kind of nifty. Oh, this is depth of field stuff. You don't really need to worry about that right now. We might bump the saturation down a little bit. Give it a little bit more dramatic. 0.3. And then we work with tone mapper. What does that do? Okay, so that'll kind of just brighten it up. So I'll actually bump that down a tiny bit. And then we work with, if you've ever worked with an image editing or any kind of editing software like After Effects, there's effects called like curves where you work with highlights or any kind of color correction effect, highlights, midtones, and shadows. So you can adjust the colors of those in this post-process editor. I'm going to give this, so let's say if we go 1.2, that's going to give it a little bit more green than usual. So we keep that at 1. So this is green. 1.5, that's red, and then this is blue. 1. Ew. Ew. No, this is green. So this is blue, green, blue, green. Blue, red, green, sorry. 1.0. So if we bump up some shadows, so add a little bit of, oh, whoops, we don't want that much. 0.23. What am I doing? 0. 0.0004. 0.03. There we go. So that gives it a little bit more of a greenish. And then if we kind of darken this 0.9. 0.9. Oh wait, 1.1, 2.9. There we go. So you can see I'm just like affecting the colors of it, just like any other. And then you don't have to, when you go into game mode, you'll see the effects of it. I guess in this one, they're always on unless you turn them off. So that's fun. That's fun. So as you can see, they're not like that. But when you go inside the volume, whoa! 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 So I'm going to turn off the colors effects for now. We don't really need anything too bad. Boom. Ew. 1.2. 1. I'm going to give it a little bit of a adjustment. Not much, though. So there we go. We got a nice little hint here of some kind of randomness. Now let's keep on browsing through. I'm actually going to make some support beams for sure. And there's a whole lot of trim in here, too. I'll get to that in a second. I want to find a chain link fence. Let's add a few of these in here. They're probably good to have. These little, like, random box things. We'll stack them around. Yeah. Give it a little bit of a skew. What in the world? Oh, what, right, it's going 90 degrees. I'm like, what in the world? Am I going crazy here? And we can stack one on top of it, too. There we go. So we got a stack of boxes in the corner. This barrel, I have no idea what I was going to do with this, so I'll just put it over here in the corner. You stay there, barrel. Daryl. This one, too. That one's going to be on its side. Now I need the 90-degree snap, and I don't have it. Great. Okay. Okay, there we go. So, another thing that we need to realize when working with meshes is that we need to realize the axis and the, I don't even know, I'm trying to think, a reference coordinate system. So the coordinates of different objects, when you're messing with them, sometimes it helps to be able to be in different modes. Sometimes it's local that you need to move along different axes. Then sometimes it's world. If you switch it up here, what this does is it adjusts the coordinates to the world, which is x, y, x up, and y and z up, sorry, and then y and x, going the other ways. So that's the world system if you want to move stuff that's already rotated without having to worry about it. But then if you need to rotate it a certain way, you go to local, and that way it switches it up. So that's helpful to know when you're messing with particular static meshes. I guess we can try and work with this pipe system. Well, you know what? No, let's not work with that right now. That's going to take up unnecessary time. We will use this fire hydrant, though. Come here, you. Come here, you. Hey, get out of there, pipe! Fire hydrant. Maybe make it a little bit bigger just so you can see it. There's that fire hydrant. Okay. I want to find a chain link fence. I know there's one in here. I know there's one in here! Where are you? Look at all these weird sculptures and such. They're weird! There's a bunch of wires and stuff. I guess I can mess with those. Come on, I gotta find this. I just want to make this before I move on. What in the world? Fence. There really no fences besides this? Chain? What in the world? I was almost positive there's some kind of chain link fence. Maybe not. I'm going to find this thing. I'm going to find this thing if it's the last thing. Wait, no, that's not it. Hey, here's some glass. It's broken, though. Hey, that's kind of broken, too. That's shattered. Oh, man. Okay, well, no luck with that. Come on, fence. Where are you? I know you're here. I know you're here, man. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy! Oh, come on. No, it's a door. This is ridiculous. I want that fence. I need to add it here because I want to have it in between these like pillars here. I think that'd make it look really cool. Come on, fence. Oh, man. Oh, what is this thing? Oh, that's the... I was trying to think what that was. It's from one of the vehicles. The vehicles. Okay, well, I guess I'm in terrible... It's got to be here. Maybe they took it out. But why would they take it out if it's still in? Oh, this is sad. This is sad, sad, sad. Okay, well, I guess no chain link fence. Unless I'm missing it completely. But I'm pretty sure I'm not. Okay, well, never mind. There is another thing. Did I build the... I need to rebuild the lighting really quick. So just imagine a chain link fence in here. Just imagine it. Let's rebuild the lighting. I'm going to pop to chat here to figure out what everyone's doing. How's everyone doing? I will add some vehicles later. Bum 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 ba dum bum bum. I said fences at the bottom. I don't think I should need to fully load it. Maybe I do. Need some soothing jazz music to go with this. That person was lying. Why would you lie to me? Okay, so I'll probably... We've been going for about 2 hours, so I should probably start to wrap it up and then go to Q&A here. And then I will go to Q&A, and you guys can let me know what meow meow meow. This should be done in a second here. I'm just gonna add a quick particle system. Show you guys how to do that. It'll just be a quick smoking one. Bum 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 bum. Come on, come on, come on! Come on, you. Hurry up. Okay, back to the chat. Chatception! Yeah, I'll have to go. I just have to check and see if it shouldn't need to load the packages. It's got to be there, though, because I saw it. I saw it! Overlapping UVs. I know. I know. Okay, so let me just go back really quick. I need to find this environment. Fully load. Let's see if it's in here. See if it's in here. See if it's in here. Probably should have done that earlier, to be honest. Yeah, see, there's a bunch of new little random things that are popping up now. Yeah, and it's including... I was wondering where that... yeah, there it is. That took me long enough. Took me long enough. Okay, back to 90-degree snap here. I need it. Okay. Oh man, this is like a wacky fence. There we go. Remember, we have to get to the door still, so just watch. Watch what I'm doing. Watch what I'm doing. And then we're going to stretch this one out. And then duplicate it and use it back here too. Okay, obviously I'm not the same length here on either of these, so it kind of looks janky, but for now it'll work. For now, it will work. And then, of course, we need a few in here, too. Come on, select it, select it. Boom. So, only janitorial staff may access this area. Not really sure who they are, but they're janitorial staff. I'm actually going to do dual ones on this one, just because that looks a little better than the other poopy one. There we go. Oh, man. That didn't work out so well. Yeah, see, this is the problems that happen when you aren't paying attention like I was. The problems that happen when you're not paying attention. Let's actually just move this blast door. That's why, children, always check your scales and such. Make sure everything's looking good. Otherwise you end up like me. With a terribly misshapen map. But you get the idea. You get the idea. Okay, so there we go. See, that's what I was looking for right there. Oh, there it is. Boom. So there we go. We got... As you can see, it's giving me an error that the lighting needs to be rebuilt. So that'll look a lot better when we get inside. And so I guess I'm going to actually bring this over here, duplicate it, and have it as another one. Whoops. Snap to local. Like I said, remember when you're trying to move multiple things like that, always de-snapify or set it to world. Because these things were rotated, so it like automatically took on that stuff. Okay, there we go. There we go. So there we go. We have our map pretty much. I'm going to make some kind... I actually do need those pipes really quick. One of these pipes is actually going to be on... Actually, I'll make this thing up here on fire. This thing is a poor thing. There we go. So we do have, in fact, have our map. I'm not going to make a thing for that yet, but we will quickly make this because we are going to be wrapping up here soon. I'm going to make this fire particle system and we'll be done. So, fire particle system. UT3. Okay. There's an explosion. Explosion with smoke. Vehicle damage. GFX. Effects. Let's fully load this really quick. Just in case we're missing some like I obviously was last time. There, as you can see, there are plenty of random effects all over the place in this. Let's see. That's a C. I'm just trying to find something that has like a little bit of a stream. Oh, that's just a little sparking system. If not, I'm just going to make my own from scratch. Use a fire. Yeah, I think I will really quick. Okay, so I'm not really going to tell you guys what I'm doing here because that'll take too much time because this is going into meow fire particle system. It's going to go in cats the package. Okay, so here we go. See, as you can see, it's emitting, what's it called? Now I just need to find a fire particle. I mean, texture. Texture. Okay. Now I just need to just check and make sure they have something in materials. There it is. That looks pretty nifty. Just making sure they don't have anything else. Okay, that'll have to do for now. That'll have to do. As you can see, I already replaced that. I'm actually going to make this full screen really quick because this makes it a little bit easier to work with. Okay. Just trying to get myself back into... like the most recent particle I actually made was when I made the clanky smoke system. Rate 60. Lifetime, color over life. So we actually have right here, it looks like whoever made it pretty much starts out with a constant, like as you can see these things fade out. You can actually change that a little bit. So it takes a little longer to fade out. Or they just pop out like that. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this. Initial velocity. So I actually want to take out this and create a velocity over life. Because what this will allow me to do is create like a spitting fire system. So what will happen here is I'll make it so it starts, it hits a secondary point, shoots up. Because that way, initial value. So let me actually remove this one really quick so we can get this one going. Okay, go. And then, of course, another value. 3 seconds out. Well, I don't even know if I'll have 3 seconds to do this. 3 seconds. Okay. Go. Why are you going? Go! 0, it starts at 33, 66. Yeah, well, let me just make this really quick so I can... do. Okay, so 20. So it's gonna be shooting out that way. That's 6, 5. And then it will slow down. That's why I have my velocity over life thing. Let's see. So as you can see, they're like speeding up right now. So if it would start going up, which is Z, so 3. So 88 x. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this, because what I'm trying to do is get like an effect where it goes out and then just kind of slows down. So the best way to do that would be 100. Okay, and then that's when it would slow down at 0.5, at 0.4, and go up. Come on. Come on, kick in, kick in. There's a pain working with this thing. Okay, so velocity over life. So we're looking at it going to 3D space. It needs to go up now. See, it's kind of tough working with. Let's see, 5. That's not doing anything. What is going on here? See, this is where it gets poopy. See, look at it go. Okay, let's see if I delete this really quick. I am trying something new really quick. Bum, 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 bum. Why? There we go. Okay. Where did my initial... Oh, yeah, I deleted it. Duh. So we got our initial velocity. This is going to be where it takes it from our minimum. See, I'm going to actually switch that with a vector constant because that'd be a little easier. It is going up 55. 5. And that's where it slows down. So now we need to go to velocity over life and tell it at 1 in. See, I'm trying to think. Maybe I only need one of these. I don't really understand why it's not going up in the air like it should be doing. It is very strange. Very strange indeed. Oh, it's doing that. Oh, look at that little blur. Look at that little blur right there. You see that? Very strange. Even when I do initial velocity of z, it should go up. Well, there we go. It's going up there. That's weird. Okay, well, let's just put a very small velocity on it. 0.2. Well, now you know how to make streaks. Look at that. Look at that. You know how to make streaks. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Let me just see here. Acceleration would probably be the best thing. Because the velocity kind of affects the way it's... how would I say it? Oh, no, I deleted the wrong one. Stupid thing. Initial velocity! No! So we've got a vector constant here at 0.003. And a 5. 55? 100? Okay, so that looks somewhat more accurate. Okay, constant curve. I need a value here. 0.4. Sure, can we make it go up? There we go. Yeah, I knew there was something. I knew there was something I was doing wrong. So 0.5. I want it to go out like that, and then it's gonna kind of slow down. So 2. So no, this is where I needed a velocity over life because I needed to slow down. You see, I knew what I was doing a little bit. It's been a while since I've worked with particle systems this much. 0.5 was what I did it, right? The value was 4. 2. This kind of cancels it. Okay, so that needs to go up. 0.5. Okay, well. Let's get rid of that really quick. I'm just trying to figure this out. It's always a learning process. Let me start out with 0. And then you add another point. Then at 0.02, you have a value of 1. And then 0.7, you have a value of 0.5, 0.7, and then a fourth value, or third, yeah, I don't know, fourth value, that is 0.0 at 2 seconds in. 1 second in. I'm just trying to figure out how long do I have this spawned for. That's probably a good idea to figure out. Lifetime. How long do you guys last? 1 second. Okay. 1.2 can be the maximum. And 0.7 will be the minimum. but the color over life. So at 0, that's pretty much saying at 0 seconds, it's at 0 opacity, 0.02 seconds. It's at 1, and then these are all linear values too. I should probably curve these. Then at 0.8 seconds, it's at 7. And at 1, it is at 0 again. So that's why if I were to put this at 1 still, it would just pop out like blah, 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 blah. But luckily, I should put it at 0.9 and then have it back to 0. That way it's like fading out a little bit faster. Okay. That's enough of that, though. It's still kind of popping, but it's better than nothing. Let's see here. Rotation. Initial size, I got to kind of vary it up. Size over life is another thing, because it needs to be a lot smaller. Size by life. There we go. So, again, we do this. So at 0, they are going to start out extremely small. So 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. And then at 1, they would reach... I'm actually going to throw one more tangent in there, or one more key point, because this would be at 0.5, where they're still semi-small, because I don't want it to be a huge dip, because otherwise what'll happen, so 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. And then at the last tangent, which I'm going to make 0.7, I'm going to have them at 1... Actually, sorry, 1.4, 1.4, 1.4. There we go. See, it's starting to look better now. This is what I wanted to look like. Just took me a little while to remember some of the stuff. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. This is looking good. I need to still adjust this opacity thing a little bit because it's kind of bugging me that some of those are still popping out a little bit. If I increase the lifetime achievement award, one thing I could do is rotation rate and rotation. Initial rot rate. So that pretty much just kind of varies everything up, and it already kind of put something in, so this is good. 0.6. No, wait, 0. Negative 0.6 to 1. There we go. And initial rotation, of course, is going to be negative 0.6 by 1. That should be good. See, look at that. See, it's coming together nicely. Look at that. That looks like a real fire, kind of. That looks like a real fire. And now, what we can do is... I need to adjust this a little bit more, because I'm still kind of iffy about the thing. Curve auto. Curve auto. So if I put 0.7, it's more just popping out because it's such a small... There we go. That's a lot better. So yeah, that's what I was looking for right there. Perfect. Okay, so now we're in business here. I'm actually going to make it go up a little bit smaller till... Let's see, 0.1 is what I want. Wait a second. I screwed up. Yeah, that's why I screwed up. I put it in the wrong thing. See, that's still pretty... that's kind of iffy. So 0.6. Just ease that transition a little bit. 0.8. And then by this time, I think I should actually bump it up even more. So probably about 0.8. 1.8. 1.8. There we go. Look at that. See, this is looking really nice. Okay, so there's actually a few more elements I want to add really quick, and I'm kind of going to rifle through them because I can pretty much use the same thing. Let's save that really quick. Save it as cats. There we go. Let's see here. Distortion. So they have distortion materials that will give you kind of like a distortion-y look to it that you can add to fires because, you know, fires are hot usually. So I'm actually just going to duplicate the emitter and replace it with this. As you can see, it kind of just distorts that those lines back there. And that's almost perfect right there. I might actually just give it a little bit of a boost size-wise, because towards the end anyway, because that's really what the fire's turning into. So probably 3. So maybe that's a little bit too big. Kind of looks wacky. Maybe 2. And then maybe I'll turn down the spawn rate a little bit. So 40. So now it's like a blazing fire that's coming out of this thing. Let's see here. We could add some sparks. So let me grab some sparks. What am I doing here? Sparks. So just some sparks that were coming out of the initial... it's kind of a weird spark. I don't know if we're going to have a really good sparking system here. I guess I'll try this one right here. Who knows? It could turn out good. Could turn out bad. So we will do a new emitter here. Pretty much what we're going to do is tell it to spew out of a direction here. So blah 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 blah. So yeah, those, I don't know, that I can't really use that. That's kind of poopy. Okay, we'll just use this. This is good. So we made that grand old emitter there. Took me a little while to figure out a few things again, but hey, it's all good. So anyway, we're going to drop this right in here. As you can see, it's already producing quite the humdiggity. So this is fire extinguisher is now turned into a Flammenwerfer. See, look at this. Look at this. It's kind of shiny. It's hard to really tell, but look at it go. Look at it go. It's spewing fire. It's spewing fire. Beautiful. So let me I could make this a little bit bigger actually. Make it smaller, you make it bigger. So you have to go through it. So if you ever wonder how they make those kind of particles in games where there's like something spewing out of a tank when you shoot it or something, that's how you do it. Let me actually turn the... See, if you look at it with the post-processing off, it looks a little better. So I'm actually going to turn that off. This post-processing actually turned out really poopy. That's my fault. Get out of here. We don't want you. I like the bloom, though. Let me turn on some bloom. So we can go to some world properties and affect some bloom. 0.5. There we go. That's better. Beautiful, beautiful. And then, of course, probably the best thing to do is create a light here. And we could give it some pretty strong properties because we got a nice, strong, bright light here. So 3. And then, of course, we need a good color for it. Oh, I was trying to get a nice little orangish. There we go. So there we go. We got our flame. Our flames are going. So look at that. See, it's so real. I couldn't even tell the difference. Anyway, okay. So I'm gonna give this a map a save. Let us go to the chat. That is pretty much all I'm going to go over right now. And yeah. So I just wanted to know what you guys thought and any questions that you may have that I can go over here. Any questions? Any questions? Yes, I would make it flicker, but not enough time. Rebuild lighting, I will later. Make the flam flicker. I would make the light flicker. Good thing people saw that. Special machinima making episode. Yes, that will be pretty much the tie-in to it. There'll be some more in-depth advanced matinee tutorials. When did I start using Unreal? Probably about, like I said, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was a while before I really got into doing a lot of YouTube stuff. Soft shadows. So a lot of the times they'll look harsh. Like a lot of the shadows look really harsh when they're preview lighting, and dynamic shadows will look a lot harsher than the softer shadows. But when you rebuild lighting, it usually works out. Glass in UDK. I would have built a glass wall right there, but I would have to make a quick material, and I didn't really want to fiddle around with that right now. It's pretty simple though, and you just kind of make like refractions and a few different things in the editor, the material editor. The next class I'm planning, I haven't figured this out exactly, but it's going to be after PAX sometime when I do the first actual session. And I'm actually thinking, what I was thinking about doing was doing, and I'll go over this at the end of the show too. I was thinking of doing 3 different sections. There will be a very basic section that'll be made up of 3 classes, and then there'll be a normal, like a medium session, and then advanced session, all of it made up of 3 different classes. So will I post this to YouTube? Probably. I probably will post this one. How long does a Trapville episode take? It can take a long time. It's gonna be pretty long to go through that whole season. So will I go over how to animate? There is some animation you can do in UDK, but you cannot do full character animations like you can in the Source Filmmaker and in like 3ds and stuff. You do need a separate plugin. And yes, they will be on weekends, just to make sure everyone has it's conveniently timed. Do we have it? I do not have any real like training in Unreal script. I don't really know much about it. I've messed around with it here and there to try and get like weapons in game, but besides that, I haven't really done much with it. So I was hopefully if I ever made a game, I'd hopefully rely on someone else for that. Can you get the fire to make a shadow? I don't know. I don't even know if fire actually would cast a shadow. That's what I'm trying to think right now. If anything, it produced enough light so that it wouldn't cast a shadow. Whoops. 1 second, something just fell. Will all the creatures be featured in Trapville? Yes. Do you animate in 3ds Max and then matinate it up to make a machinima? Sometimes. I don't always animate in 3ds. A lot of the times I'll use animations from that they already have in game. Can you change the color of the fire? Yes, you can. Let me just quickly show you how to do that, or I'll just do it really quick. I'll make it some smashing color. I'm trying to make sure. I'm pretty sure you can do it in here. Compared to, but you would go to color, initial color, and the start color would be affected by these, just like in the, what's it called? And it's not affecting it at all. That's great. That's great. I guess that doesn't really do anything. Oh wait, no, I'm going off of the stupid. Wow, I'm an idiot. Color, initial color. Still not really doing anything. Oh, well. I don't know. That, if anything, all you'd really have to do is go into what's it called? Let's see, constant vector. Yeah, so 1. Yeah, there it is, right there. You just have to. I just had to go in and fiddle with that. So that'd be the normal color. But then if you wanted to make it, say, a really nice reddish, greenish hue, bluish hue, green fire, green fire, and then it changes in engine to green fire. Okay, so that's your green fire question answered. Let's see. Can you teach us how to make real water with flow map? I don't know if you can make real water. That required physics, like simulations, and you can make water in this, like different kinds of liquids and stuff that react when you jump inside it and stuff. But besides that, there's not really a whole lot you can do. How do you go into the orthographic viewport? It's right up here. I think you can see it. It's up in the top corner. It says restore viewport, and it'll pop in there. And then there's also some view settings up at the top. Can you make another rocket for the advanced or medium class? Yes, I will. I'll be getting into physics in there. I still need to, I'll be reading up on a little bit things. Yes, you can make the fire bigger. You just scale up the particle system or go into the editor and edit that. Can you make water that spews out like fire? Yes, that's usually where they create water effects, is in the Cascade editor. So, how much will classes cost? I haven't gotten a good figure on that yet exactly, but I'm trying to make it fairly cheap, but it's still going to take up quite a bit of my time, so I need to make it at least something. So, it'll be per session, so meaning if you pay for the basic classes, you'll get all 3 classes, and if you pay for the medium classes, you'll get all 3 of those, and then if you pay for the advanced one, you'll get all 3 of those. And then I'm sure I'll make like a even discounted version if you get all of them at once. So that's kind of why I made this, so you guys have a good idea of, you know, what's going to be happening and what's all the hubbub about. And if you really want to take the time to learn some stuff, because I really want to help people out that, you know, so people can try their hand and get used to it, because the main learning point in this is going to be fiddling around with random stuff. Will I make a full game with this engine? I've wanted to, I just haven't had the time, but it would take more than just me. I'd need a team to really work on that. Let's see, I'm looking. How do you get other assets from UE3 games into UDK? That's not really something I can go over. I'm not even sure like how, like if you're really supposed to do that. So I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you want to, you can try, but who knows. What about my shirts? Oh yeah, I get to announce my shirt store. Just wait for that. I'm not done yet. Dun, 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 dun. Hire people who go through the training. Can you input free moving objects that you can interact with? Yes, that's physics objects, and I'll be covering that. Can you do indirect rendering, like making a mirror? There are methods of making mirrors, and pretty much what it is it would go through like rendering to a texture through a camera that would then show you, you know, what you're looking at. So it's not super hard, but I haven't mastered it completely yet. I've made a few like TV screens and stuff, like I did in the Creeper rocket thing, but I had to kind of stretch my brain to figure that out. From a scale of 1 to 10, how old am I? 2. When do I get to character animations? Like I said, the animations take place in 3D apps, so I can't really get to that. But I can do animation inside the engine that's not really the same, but it's still pretty cool. There are destructible objects. I can get to those. Could you import Bioshock models into UDK? You can import pretty much anything into UDK as long as it's a format it can read. So, some of these they need to be UDK questions, not playthrough questions. Can you teach us how to make a creeper explosion? Maybe that might be something we could go through. It'd be pretty fun to do. Let's see. How to get the creeper model into UDK. I actually went on the internet and found there's a lot of 3D model packages. Like people will go in and and they will make 3D models of different games, especially Minecraft, because it's fairly simple. And I actually had to download the creeper model, and I actually had to reskin it and put bones in it before I could animate it at all. Do you know how to make character models in UDK? You cannot make character models. You can make a character out of BSP, which would be extremely time-consuming and a waste of time at the same time because you can't do anything with it. It'd just be a statue. All that has to be done on a 3D app and then imported in. I do not know any scripting language. I am not a scripter. Does Rooster Teeth use this to animate RVB? I don't think so. I mean, I can't say no, but I'm pretty sure they use a 3D app. I'm almost 99.9% sure. Let's see. I have never touched the Unity engine. Bot tutorials, yeah, I need to look into that a little bit more before I really go over that, but I know a little bit about AI and stuff, but not a whole lot. AI kind of gets into complicated scripting stuff, but you can make simple ones. Yes, I will go over more advanced aspects like Matinee Kismet, Curve Editor, and stuff, because those are very complicated. And someone just put Bort's face. Nice. UDK stands for Unreal Development Kit. Can you make maps in UDK? Yes, you can. I just made one. There is ways to make AI, of course, but that's a lot of complicated stuff, like I've said before. Can you make a map for Unreal Tournament for all of us today? Play. I could do that. That'd actually be kind of fun, but I don't know if I have it installed because I'd have to make it in that editor. But oh yeah, the UDK books. Thanks for reminding me. They're actually called. Sorry, let me just look at it. Mastering Unreal Technology. Just search it on Amazon. It's called Mastering Unreal Technology. There's 3 versions. I recommend the first 2. The third one is Unreal Script, and I don't know anything about that. But Mastering Unreal Technology, it's by the guys at 3D Buzz, and if you pretty much get those, and you can look through them, and it has mostly everything. It has lots of great tutorials and walkthroughs. Like I said, though, it's like the video tutorials. They're in the older version of UDK, so they're a little bit iffy sometimes, but other than that, they're pretty good. But they have a lot of knowledge in there, so they're really great. I don't model things. I can try and make stuff in this engine, but other than that, I don't. How hard is it to grasp the basic concepts of UDK? Not hard at all. You just have to kind of get through the GUI, the UI layout and stuff to really understand it. And then after you can create a basic map, it just takes a little bit to get used to. The biggest project I made with UDK, I worked with the Duo Group on making what's called the Gears of War 3 trailer that's called What Have I Become? Or... yeah, What Have I Become? And so if you search that Gears of War 3, What Have I Become, it'll show up with the trailer I made in the Unreal Engine, and it took me a lot of time, and it was pretty intense, and it turned out really great. And then some kid ripped it, put it on his channel, and got most of the views, so it was pretty fantastic. It was pretty sad. Okay, just a few more questions left. I'm going to wrap it up. Can you make vehicles that work? With Unreal Script, you can. Anything is possible with Unreal Script. I have not mastered that before. Can you change the direction of the flame? Yes, you can. Most of the main settings of this flame that are coming out and like rising up a little bit are done in the editor, but I could, technically change the way it's facing like that. But yeah. What type of computer does it best run on? A PC that is, built pretty well. Something that's good for gaming and has, good processor and stuff is going to be good. Okay, last question. I'm looking for a good one. Can you put recorded voices in UDK? Yes, there is a fully functional sound like section of the thing that lets you put ambient sounds. There's a great way to score stuff. Like if you put scored music in there, you can like do cues and all that. It's really great. So that's pretty nifty to have. Okay, so there's our map that we created over the past hour and a half or 2.5 hours. Sorry, no, wait, yeah, 2.5 hours. So it's been a while. So I thank you guys for joining me. Let's see. So I'm just about to open my shirt store. I'll actually tweet it out, and I'm going to stop the stream and tweet it out right at the end. So just be watching my Twitter, and you guys can see all my new shirts that Bevan helped me make, if Bevan's still there. And I will definitely be putting up videos that'll let you guys know what the plan is with these lessons. But like I said, I'll probably be doing like an intermediate class sessions, which will be 3 classes. And I was throwing around the idea of, like with the Twitch guys, doing like $10 for that one, and then $20 for the medium 3 classes, and then $30 for the last 3 advanced ones. And then after that, if there's any more needed, I can maybe start it over or go even more advanced. So it's really up to you guys. I'll figure it out and make a video with final stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you learned something, hopefully, and are excited to learn a little bit more about the engine and what it's capable of. It's been fun. It's actually went quite well too, so I'm excited. Okay, I'm off to Twitter. Be checking your Twitter. I'm gonna stop the stream now.